Hey y'all, and welcome back to the podcast. Today we'll be talking about election campaigns and how they play a factor in the elections. Okay, first of all, I always like to start with this concept: campaign plans. A campaign plan outlines the strategy and tactics that campaign organizations and candidates hope will bring a winning combination of electoral and popular votes in the general election. And the plan details the issues the nominees will emphasize and aspects of the candidates' personal images they hope to convey to voters. And some specific points include a plan of attack on the platform, issues, and candidates of the opposition. Now, methods of targeting socio-economic, ethnic, and religious groups that the campaign organization feels will most likely accept the campaign message. And an assessment of the ticket's strengths and weaknesses in various states, and also geographic areas the candidates should target in order to secure an electoral college majority. And I am going to get into the factors in a successful election campaign. So, to start off, political scientists and scholars agree that campaigning for an office such as the presidency, a governorship, or a Senate seat is an art involving many layers of activity that must together successfully in order for a candidate to win office. First, there is a very personal aspect to campaigning, as the candidate and his supporters make appearances, meet voters, conduct press conferences, and give speeches around the nation. Here, the candidate's diplomatic skill is tested, and a balance must be struck between campaign issues to appeal to everyday voters and leaders of various groups and voting blocs, such as business and labor, and also key ethnic populations. There is also an organizational aspect which involves planning, sophisticated mass mailings, according electronic telephone banks to reach voters. And reaching special interest groups for money and endorsements, they're just basically political leaders, people that support their agenda, propaganda, their shares, and they basically, to me, it's just making it a little more extreme, I guess, kind of exaggerating, if you will. And normally it's on live coverage, like on the news. For instance, Harris, she's been endorsed by Biden, Obama, Hillary, and Bill Clinton, Bill Clinton's daughter, so many other things. And Trump, I don't know much about him, but yeah. Endorsements is basically a live show of support, if you will. And now, raising money to support the campaign as well is a very big key factor in successful campaigns. And the media aspect involves both running paid advertisements and soliciting the press in an effort to gain the maximum campaign coverage possible, as well as managing the art of damage control, that is, responding to and turning around any form of controversial or negative press, meaning negative comments, rumors, all all that mischief. Yeah. And now I have a couple more. How long is a presidential election campaign? Presidential candidates began organizing their campaigns and raising money a year or more before the primary season, while the length of the nominating season has remained unchanged over the years. Pre-election maneuvering by candidates, they usually begin shortly after the previous presidential election, and exploratory committees are often in operation 1 or 2 years before an election. Now, you guys may be wondering, when was the first public presidential debate held, or what was the first televised debate held? So I've looked online and it says the year 1948 saw the first public debate between presidential candidates Thomas E. Dewey and Harold Stassen, which was held as a radio broadcast in connection with the Oregon Republican presidential primary. And the first televised debate, however, took place in 1956 between contestants for the Democratic presidential nomination, Adlai Stevenson and Estelle Fauver. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a weird last name, or for name in general. Yeah. Anyway, have you guys ever wondered what has been the most dirtiest, well, really, like, critical presidential campaign on record, or so I say, like, most competitive, as due to, like, derogatory, all that bad energy in a campaign? Well, it just so happened that although many early campaigns had their share of derogatory remarks, historians agree that 1828 presidential campaign between Andrew Jackson and incumbent President John Quincy Adams was probably history's dirtiest. Yep. The conflict had its roots in the 1824 election between the same two candidates, in which Jackson won the popular and the electoral votes, but the House gave Adams the presidency. In 1828, the mudslinging ranged from accusations of adultery against Jackson, which was also to his wife, Andrew and Rachel Jackson, to suggestions that President Adams had spent thousands of federal dollars to stock the White House with gambling equipment. Yeah. And those rumors beyond, like, upon presidential campaigns and on the campaign trail still occur today. Yeah, and attacks mother and wife, and allegations that he was involved in dueling and brawling. Words used to describe him included slave, traitor, gambler, and promoter of cockfights and horse races. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Despite this, the revival of a two-party system and the creation of a new national party, the Democratic Party of the United States, that just so happens to be around today. The very Democratic Party that we have today is because of the 1828 presidential campaign between Andrew Jackson and incumbent President John Quincy Adams. Yeah. And there's also been stuff like vice presidential and presidential candidates successfully, they succeeded on hiding their illnesses during their campaigns. For stuff such as Franklin D. Roosevelt, where he kept his derogatory, his heart condition quite quiet during his 1944 re-election campaign. And during the 1960 presidential election, another one, John F. Kennedy successfully hid his long-rumored and publicly denied struggle with Addison's disease, which is a failure of the arterial glands, for which the Massachusetts senator received injections of cortisone and other medications. And here's another one. George McGovern's 1972 running mate, Missouri Senator Tom Eagleton, was forced to quit the ticket within a month of the Democratic National Convention due to media-revealed allegations of electric shock therapy as treatment for his clinical depression. Yeah. And they also have the 2020 campaign, where John McCain had a reoccurring skin cancer, and also they had Bill Bradley with his irregular heartbeat. Yeah. So tomorrow I'll be posting a video about campaign finance, which is a very another key factor. But until then, I'll see y'all. Yeah. Have a nice day, y'all. Peace.